What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I'm Matt, and that is Dan.
Hello.
How are you?
Not too bad, you?
I'm very good. All the better for that damn Ash not being here.
I know.
He has decided that there is something better than talking about video games to do this week. Didn't even tell us what it was. Apparently, it's a thing.
It's all a mystery, which means he's probably stuck at home playing something.
He's probably just wanking. God damn it, Ash. You with your VR. We talk about VR porn. And funny enough, we will be talking about VR today. Maybe not porn, maybe more on the video game front, probably. We'll get into that in just a minute. But if you are new to the channel, this is a weekly show, but normally the three of us do. In this instance, two. Get together and talk about all the latest news topics in the video game industry. We'll then also go through the game releases for that week before each picking our favourite games of the week. So if you are fans of video game news, we also do random conversations. Not that this is not random, but even more random conversations, video game let's plays. But you can find out everything we do on our website, thegamerinitiative.com. So Dan,
yes,
are you ready? The big announcement that came out this week, PlayStation VR. We have a price, we have a date.
Yes.
And it's good news. We saw the Oculus Rift coming out at £500, the Vive? HTC Vive coming out at like £650. This is coming in at a fairly reasonable £349. But with a slight caveat, that's just the headset, and you do need the PlayStation camera to be able to play the game, to be able to play it.
Yeah,
so
that I didn't realise was going to be a thing beforehand.
Like, yeah.
And then them coming out and going, look, it's cheap. You also need this.
It's cheap if we don't sell you everything. So yeah, what they did announce was this was actually it's $400 basically. The 2 days afterwards they announced basically what the proper VR bundle is for $500, which comes with the camera, with the Move
controllers, which you don't need. You don't need
those. You can just use your DualShock, which is probably the best way to go. I mean, it depends on the games, but
also depends on how much room you have.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine someone who's got the headset on, therefore they can't see their environment. If it's a small thing with lots of knockable over, imagine basically putting the VR headset on, sat here right now, and imagine how quickly you would clean sweep Batman off the table.
I would break so much.
Yeah,
I'm going to break so much. The very first time I played with a PlayStation camera back on the PlayStation 2. Do you remember the iToy?
Yes.
So there was this weird game where it was either balloons or bubbles or something, and you had to like make weird hand gestures. And I jumped up like that, and I was at a friend's house, and I smashed their £500 chandelier.
Ah.
So that was a good time. But so yeah, I will be sat very still with a DualShock, not moving. Really happy with this price point. I'm going to say that I called it. I did say it would be around the $450 because it had to be the price of the console. Okay, granted, this is a little bit more than the console, but it's the price that the console launched at. So therefore, it's in the same ballpark. We have had a load of games announced for it as well. They said that there's going to be up to 50 games available at launch.
That's good. That's something that was needed, because if you just turn around and say, hey, look at our shiny new bit of tech. By the way, you can only play one game on it.
Yeah.
And it's bowling.
Well, yeah.
Which for you is fine, because
I like bowling.
but you know what I mean? It's like, I didn't buy a headset this much to go bowling.
Yeah, I don't need to pay £300 to go bowling. So we've seen PlayStation, what they've called PlayStation VR Worlds, which is, we've seen the tech demos of London Heist. I'll put them up on the screen. Into the Deep, which was London Heist was, as you would probably expect, like a kind of gangster heist. Into the Deep, which is the one where you go down in like a aqua cage. Is that what they're called? I don't know what they're called.
Shark cage?
Yeah, effectively a shark kind of cage, and you go into the water and sharks attack you and stuff like that. And then there's a load of other ones. VR Luge looked pretty cool. I imagine that's pretty intense. Like, you're going down the street on a luge board, but like it's got traffic in the street. So it's like, I imagine that's going to be pretty cool.
For that one, do you have to assume the proper position? So you have to be lying on the floor kind of thing, and then be doing the whole...
I hope so. I'll be doing it. For sure.
Because I can just imagine if like for that sort of one, it loses some of its immersion when you're sat upright on your sofa with the DualShock and you just like move. Like,
and you're like this.
And you're not really doing it. But
I will.
I mean, visually it'll still be great.
Yeah.
But I can just imagine that sort of thing. Is one where I imagine a lot of people be like, almost like how with the Wii, where everyone started off playing Wii tennis, like, and then they realised,
they were even better just on the sofa eating a Snickers.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah,
I can imagine that's how that sort of game is going to go.
But it looks cool. I will be lying down. It's up to you how much you get into it. I will say what we're going to do is we're going to get into a really big conversation about VR as a whole on Party Chat, but not till next week when Ash is back, so that we can.
When we hope he's back.
When we hope he's back. If he's not, then he's banned for life, and we'll get in a replacement that will be better. Won't be that hard.
No.
But we can have a full conversation about everything. But just a couple of other features in addition to the price and the number of games. The biggest announcement. Well, firstly, if you haven't already pre-ordered it, you're out of luck. Basically, I tried to order mine 15 minutes after they went on sale, and I missed the first wave. I kind of got it again on the second wave, but it didn't guarantee release date. And then Amazon UK went out and then released a statement saying anyone that ordered, we can't guarantee release date delivery for anyone who ordered after 11:45 a.m. on that day. So even though I'm in the second wave, fingers crossed I'm in there, because I did order at, I think it was like 29 minutes past or something. But yeah, it's crazy how quick these things sold.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think that's kudos to your prediction of 2016. Half a point.
little bit, yeah.
You said that it would be delayed due to manufacturing, but it sounds like it's going to be a really. I can't imagine it was that popular that it sold out because of huge demand. It's got to be because of the low units available.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine that they went out because VR is such a new thing. I can't imagine that they hedged their bets and basically threw the entire nest egg into manufacturing them off the bat. So it might be a case of they can make a lot of them fairly quickly, but they needed to see the demand for it, and so they've only got a certain number of physical ones because they're like, well, if they don't sell, we're not losing out loads of money. It might be that.
It might be,
but yeah, I think it's very much like how when the PS3 first launched and so on, there wasn't a massive number of them in the market simply because it took the time to make them.
Yeah, I think you're being a bit too kind to them there. I think that they're struggling. Well, firstly, they have in their mind how many were going to sell in the opening year. They already would have known that. But I think the fact that it was initially going to be a summer release, I don't even think I've said this yet. October 2016.
No, we haven't. No,
is the date that the headset is going to be available.
In theory.
That's the date they have given. Well, not date, month they've given. So that is already slightly later than what we initially thought it might be. Maybe that's again to give them more time to get more
units manufactured.
It's either going to be because of units or it's going to be because they want to make sure that there's all these games available. However, what I think is possibly will be the most overlooked and yet almost the best feature for this headset is that every single PS4 game will be playable using PlayStation VR, using what they are calling the cinematic mode. So this is basically going to mean that, if you play Uncharted 4, it's not going to be a VR game, but it'll be the equivalent of you having a 225-inch TV screen just 2 meters away from you, or 2.5 meters. So it's basically like going to a cinema and playing it there. And I think that's really cool because it's just going to be. It depends on the actual quality of the screen versus your TVs. I don't know. I haven't used it, but even when it's not VR, a screen that big in your face is going to just feel that much more immersive.
Yeah, that is true. Like it is something that could. It's like you said. For one, it's the quality.
Yeah.
If it looks horrible, then obviously it's a thing that's not going to work as well. Obviously, it won't look.
I don't think it'll horrible. Yeah,
horrible and everything, but certain games may not translate as well. We don't know.
You look at it this way: it's a £350 device.
Yeah.
There are TVs that cost way, way, way more than that. So therefore, the tech, because they've got all the tech of the VR as well, the tech of the screen can't be as high quality as a top-end TV. It's just simple economics. There's no way it's going to be that good. But as long as the colours are still crisp and vivid, then I'm happy.
Yeah, but it also works in the sense of it gives the illusion, at least, of you having a massive screen to play on. And if you live somewhere where you don't have the room for a massive TV,
yeah, perfect. Yeah,
you got the upscale.
So
it's a feature that could work well.
Plenty more VR talk to have. We've already talked about it here for nearly 10 minutes, but we will be talking a lot more about what we think maybe the success of it's going to be, how it's stacking up against the competition, maybe a bit more in depth about all of the games. So look out for that Wednesday week, which will be the first Wednesday in April, whatever that is. So look forward to that. Moving on from PlayStation VR over to Microsoft. They didn't want to be the quiet ones this week. They've been talking about, they've been very focused on this whole Xbox Windows 10 thing. We've talked about that recently. Quantum Break is going to be a game that's coming out next month, and it's going to be cross-play, cross-save, and this is something that they're very keen to do, bring their Xbox device in unison with Windows 10. Fair enough, we kind of...
Make an all-in-one inclusive platform makes sense. If you're the same company, you might as well deal with all your customers on the same level.
Yeah, it doesn't... I mean, it's all money for them at the end of the day. However, in addition to what we already knew was going to be a thing of cross-play, cross-save, they're now talking that actually you'll be able to support cross-platform play, meaning that not just you can pick up Quantum Break on your Xbox and PC, but actually be able to play... Okay, Quantum Break's not a good example because it's a single-player game, but a multiplayer game, you'll be able to pick it up and play against users on the PC and your Xbox One. And other multiplayer networks. I wonder what that could possibly mean.
I wonder. Nintendo?
I'm assuming it must be the Wii U network.
Yeah.
Because there's so many games on the Xbox One and Wii U which are just crying out for cross-platform play.
Of course.
No, they're obviously talking about PlayStation Network. They obviously can't say it. It's this weird PR bullshit that Microsoft cannot acknowledge Sony's existence and Sony can't acknowledge Microsoft's existence. Because Sony actually responded to this when Xbox basically said they want to do it. And Sony were like, we've been doing cross-play since 2002. When we did it with Final Fantasy, whatever, using the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2? Yeah, PlayStation 2 and PC. Failing to mention that the Xbox was also involved in that cross-platform play. But again, can't possibly mention the other competition.
No, I mean, it's like...
So what do you think about this, Dan? What do you think of the idea of going forward? You know, we've both picked up The Division lately. We've been playing it. I picked it up on PS4 because that's where I knew you were going to have it, where Ash was going to have it. Imagine if I could have picked it up on the Xbox and it wouldn't have mattered because we could have still played. Do you think that's a good future to be in, or do you think it's more unrealistic that we'll ever get that?
I think it's a good way to go at the end of the day, because you just want gamers to be able to play the games.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, in one sense, are almost getting tired of this whole console war thing.
There's some people that still enjoy it.
I know some people do, and some people will enjoy it until the day they die, basically. But I think the heads or the higher ups and so on are starting to get a little bit annoyed of this in some shape or form. And by allowing these people to be able to just play these games online with whatever console they have, provided there's no massive, obviously, difference in terms of the tech that these consoles are offering. Maybe not so much now, the PS4 or the Xbox One, but next generation kind of thing. And there's no like, oh, this one's running much faster and much smoother and like twice the resolution or whatever. Like, as long as there's no complaints like that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It looks better as long as it still runs at the same speed.
That's what I mean. It's like the whole thing is like there's nothing for people to pick up on. I think it works because then you don't have this whole, I can't play with my friends because I don't have this console when they all have that one and stuff like that. We can all get the game, we can all play it, and it doesn't matter then.
I think it's a smart thing for Microsoft to say, because you think about it now, someone picking up a new console, one of the biggest things that people get swayed on the console is, and you hear it from most people, where are your friends playing?
Yeah.
Where are your friends playing? You pick up the console where your friends are playing. Now, right now, because of the whole, snowballing effect, the law of averages say more people have PlayStation 4s than Xbox One. That's a known fact. So therefore, you then get more people buying PlayStation 4s to play with other PlayStation 4s. If you could take away that thing, then Xbox could be like, well, you don't need to buy that PS4 to play with your friends. You can actually still buy our console, and it's better because we have all of these exclusive experiences as well.
Yeah.
So What they have said is that it will be up to the game developers to support this feature, because I imagine that it's not going to be as simple as just flicking a switch and allowing them all to play. And it did say that the gamer would be able to opt whether or not they play cross-platform or not, because there's the whole talk forever that first-person shooters, players are infinitely better when they use a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
So something like
it allows for more finite movement.
Yeah. So if there's a first-person shooter out there that is on PC and PS4, if you don't want to play against PC players, you can opt to not do it.
Yeah, which makes sense as well, because again, you're going to have those people who are like PS4 only, rah! Kind of thing. Yeah,
but it's also that you don't want to get destroyed.
And then those people can just go and live in their little dark PS4 world, kind of thing, and everyone else can bask in the light of inclusiveness.
So it'll be interesting to see who does it first.
I do like the fact that they, as well, the way Microsoft have worded it, they've basically gone, your move, Sony.
Well, they said your move developers, really. And, Sony as well, but also...
Because it's a combination of things, isn't it? It's like, obviously, everyone has to open up their networks to be able to work together.
Mm.
And so there's going to have to be some form of collaboration on that. And then, like you said, the whole developers have to work it in. And we saw it a little bit with Rocket League.
Yeah.
Because that was when it came to PS4. PS4 was able to play alongside PC.
Yeah.
And so on. And so there's that there as well.
Maybe that's the first game that can try it, because I think there's too much money to be lost by a big AAA developer trying to do it and it not working.
Mm.
You see these games like Destiny and Division, they have to work online. You can't have problems. You see things with Halo and the problems they had with matchmaking when it's just on their own system, let alone when you're doing all this. The architecture behind it is way more complicated than just thinking, oh, you want to do it? That's fine, let's do it.
Yeah.
So maybe Rocket League is the perfect one to try it.
Yeah. I can't see it necessarily always working smoothly, because unfortunately with PC, the way the keyboard works is you can map a lot more controls and options to a PC player than you can to someone on a console, because you've got a limited number of buttons there, and sometimes that can lead to advantages and stuff like that. So
it depends what you're playing. Are you playing super competitively, or do you want to just play to enjoy?
Yeah.
And again, like I said, you can switch that feature off. We don't really care about PC. Fuck the PC gamers anyway. All we want is Xbox and PS4 cross-platform. The superior PC people can just sit in their own sweaty, nerdy corner for all I care. Even though I am also a PC owner now, and I do have games on my PC, so don't take it personally, PC people. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Division.
Yes.
We talked about it a lot last week.
Did we?
A little bit. No. Just a little bit. Enjoying it very much still. It appears that a lot of people are enjoying this game because it set a new record. Not only is it Ubisoft's fastest selling title, it made $330 million in its first 5 days.
I'll take it.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably now in profit. I mean, I'd imagine this game was a good couple of $100 million to make, but they're still in profit. And it also beat Destiny to be the new best-selling or fastest-selling new franchise, because Destiny only made $325 million. The mugs. So 330, the new winner in the division. Pretty good going. I think there's some people on the internet maybe criticising the game, but I think it deserves its success. I think it's a fun game. Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, I kind of hit a little bit of a wall today. Well, I got around it, but it's like I'm a bit underpowered. I need to go and find stuff and get myself leveled up a bit more in terms of my weapons and stuff like that. And now I'm fine. I'm through that again. But it was like, today was the first time where I was like, I could really use like backup here in terms of other players.
I've heard that the higher level missions, even though in theory it should be the equal difficulty, because when you're doing a level 10 mission and you're all against level 10s, it's fine. But it seems to be that when you get higher, you actually do need more help. Yeah,
basically the way I've been working it is I've always tried to go into the story missions 2 levels higher than what the mission is intended, because I kind of when I started off, I was just running around doing all the side stuff, so I kind of built a little bit of a lead anyway. So it's like just going in with slightly better weapons and stuff like that if I can. But then again, I haven't replaced certain weapons for ages, so it's like even though my player's level higher, My weapons are
It's
lower.
and it's your gear as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you could be still sitting with a level 11 chest armor.
Yeah.
Even though you're a level... What up to you now?
I'm 17 now.
17. See, I'm still at 12. I just tried to do the... Cause
I
today,
got my first pink gear.
I'm so jealous. I'm still struggling to even find blue gear, let alone...
I went to the Dark Zone as well today. Had my first successful mission, run in there. The first time I went in, I basically turned a corner, found all the NPC bad guys, and just got obliterated in 5 seconds and didn't go back. I went in today because I had better stuff and just ran into someone else there as a normal person. Fine, we got on. We just cleared out around the extraction zone, looted some stuff, did it again, went our separate ways.
See,
that was great. That was the
like
perfect little meet of someone. It's just he was fighting, I just rocked up, clearly helped him because I wasn't shooting at him, just cleared everything out. We did our thing, disappeared. I left the Dark Zone. Success.
That's what I want to see. There's so many evil bastards in the Dark Zone though. when you go straight into the Dark Zone, basically I went there and there's the bottom entrance.
Yeah.
There's a crossroads and I was sitting behind cover shooting because there were NPCs there. And a bloke came straight into the Dark Zone and just shot me straight in the back for no reason. I was like, what do you do that for? I've clearly just come in. I have no gear.
Yeah.
Why would you kill me? And it's just... I need to understand the Dark Zone a bit more as well because I feel like I know you lose more stuff than I think you do. You lose your XP that you build up as well.
You can lose XP, you can lose Dark Zone keys, and you can actually drop gear in the Dark Zone if you get killed.
Not your real world gear.
Not what
only your Dark Zone gear that you found.
Yeah, I think so.
That's my understanding. But no, I feel like that's a place where I need to go in there with backup because I just felt way too exposed.
But the thing is now, I don't know how it would work with you and me because if you're level 12 and I'm 17, I think we're now outside the brackets because my lowest bracket is the level I'm at now. I can only go up. I can't go down.
Yeah, my understanding very much. That's the one criticism of Division from what I'm hearing is that you can't be with other enemies or other people of different levels. You seem to have to be
around the same
levels. Otherwise, because then everything scales up to the highest level person.
Yeah.
So if I'm on a level 12, Dan can't jump in and help me with my level 12 stuff because it automatically upgrades to the level 17 stuff, and then I might not be able to kill them because I'm not strong enough. So anyway, we digress a little.
Yes.
In terms of video games that we might be playing after Division, I feel this is probably, with the exception of Quantum Break, the next game I will be playing after Division. Uncharted 4.
Mm-hmm.
I've
heard of it.
It's a slightly popular franchise made by a small developer called Naughty Dog. Their game's gone gold. It was made official just a couple of days ago and posted it on Twitter, and they showed an image of someone installing Uncharted 4 on the PS4, which was, I felt, very evil.
Please tell me that the next image following that was them showing that the PS4 hard drive was too full.
No, and then there was a picture as well of Neil Druckmann, one of the directors, with the disc as well, saying all good things come to an end. And then the other director, Bruce Straley, has said that he thinks it is the most beautiful game he's ever seen, and that it's going to be awesome. I paraphrased the second bit, but so yeah, it's official. It should be no more delays now.
Yeah, that's just it.
Gold means it's being pressed to discs, so the game is complete as far as they are aware. It's just annoying now that the game is finished, but we have to wait still nearly another 2 months.
Well, they've got to work on that day one patch now, so.
Well, yeah, but it's just it doesn't. We're not going to get into the whole argument again when it was delayed.
No.
This is the whole. When a game goes gold now, I mean, this is the way. If they want people to go digital, this is the way they entice people to go digital. Is they say
game's gold, therefore
game's gold, digital is available to download right now.
Or as of next week, kind of shorten the waiting period because it's
the next drop on Tuesdays or whatever it is. But if you want your disc, you have to wait the 4 weeks for us to make the discs or whatever.
Yeah,
that's the ideal future. When we get rid of these physical media's discs and everything goes digital, they will be able to just drop the game straight on the store, in theory.
Yeah.
So I mean, it still has to go through cert and everything, but anyway,
pesky.
Look forward to that May 10th. I think. Yes, May 10th.
Day after Lib Day.
It is. I've got the day off, but it's scary because I'm pretty sure the game's not going to arrive in Guernsey on that day because weekends and then bank holiday.
Yeah.
So there's no way that the game is going to arrive in Guernsey. But, oh well. And then, the final news item of the week. Another game coming in May. This has now been confirmed as the release date for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants in Manhattan. Probably one of the longest titles of a video game. That is coming PS4, Xbox One, PC on May 24th. So we've seen this game a couple of times now. They released another new trailer, which you'll see up on the screen now, which shows some gameplay. It looks pretty cool. They confirmed that it will have 4-player co-op, which makes sense, I suppose. But nice to know that it will be, instead of being like Batman, where you just play on your own and you kind of tag people in. You're actually having to have 4 people authentically playing. I'm quietly optimistic for this title, even though it's probably going to be crap, just like every other Turtle game's ever been crap. I know Ash isn't here and he says that game on the NES was amazing and he's like one of his favourite games. It was a shit game. I haven't played it, but I've read people's opinions on it over time. The majority of people say, it wasn't a very good game.
I think if you look back at it, like at the time, those like early games and so on, because I think I played one on the Mega Drive.
There was one on the Mega Drive.
Yeah. And, like they were basically just like all the other like fighting games, just skinned for the Turtles. But like obviously, if you were a fan of them or of the Turtles at the time as a kid and so on playing it, you thought this is great. But if you look back at it, quality-wise, it's not the same. But you know, nostalgia makes everything shiny.
It does. You know, there are many games that I've played through time that are very, very bad games. But in the moment, I believed that they were amazing.
Yeah.
And the games where I know that, I will never... It's the same with films. It's like, It's like the Power Rangers movie. Like, I'm not going to watch that as an adult because
I have. I saw it on
almost
Netflix.
certain it's terrible.
I saw it on Netflix and I went back and I was just like skipping through it and going, good God.
It's amazing.
How did I love this film as a kid?
Yeah.
Because it's just...
See, I know better.
I ruined that one.
In my mind, it's still good. Even though
it wasn't so much the acting and stuff like that because it's Power Rangers. That's just
it's just everything else.
But it's like the special effects is just like literally, it's like they've put a TV screen and it's like you can actually see it, and it's just like, oh God, how did I not see that?
I know.
I hate how as an adult I now look at things with a critical eye. Compared to how
that you're not a stupid kid and you can
but you know what I mean. Compared to how you look at it when you're younger, you just see it. But as an adult, you're like, huh?
That's not right. Yeah, you analyse things way more as an adult. But anyway, enough nostalgia. Let's move into this week's new game releases that we've got this week. The big release this week, the big retail release is UFC 2. This is I think it's been 2 years since the last UFC game, so it's not an annual. One of the few sports titles from EA that's not annualised.
Did it not drop last year?
I'm pretty sure it was 2014. I might be wrong.
Maybe. I have times move so fast. It could have.
I'm pretty sure it was 2014. This game, it looks beautiful. Like the player models and animations look good. I played a little bit of it before on the EA Access trial. I will be bringing you guys a Let's Play of it tomorrow, and I will say that the KOs are brutal. It feels so good, like knocking a guy out and just watching him like fold over backwards as he's just completely knocked unconscious. Oh, it's so cool. I don't know anything about UFC, and I don't pretend to be a fan or know anything. I know of the names Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor.
I know it's McGregor. I don't know.
I think it's Conor. That's an Irish name.
Yeah. You're right, though, it is 2014.
It was, yeah. And I know like Brock Lesnar was in there at one point, and
he was in, then he was out, then he was in, then
he won. I know he won like the championship, like his first bout or something. And now CM Punk's going to be in it, but everyone's making fun of him because he's going to get killed because he's not actually a proper fighter like these UFC guys are. But yeah, you've seen any of this, Dan?
The game or the actual UFC?
No, the actual game.
Yeah. The game,
we don't care about the sport on this. On this channel.
I have seen some Let's Play stuff of the latest one and of the previous one as well, and it's like it does look improved. I will say that it's just like how the controls look like they're working on screen at least.
Yeah.
It seems a lot smoother. Whereas like when I was watching Let's Plays and stuff of it last time, it seemed a lot of, well, what's happening? How it's like I'm doing this. Why is it not? And it seemed to actually just be flowing a lot smoother this time.
The controls seem pretty in depth if you want to kind of get to the knowledge of it. I'll show you all of the features anyway tomorrow in the.
I am looking forward to the glitch videos though.
Oh yeah,
Last time, they are hilarious out of that game.
Where you like punch the guy and the fist will go through the face and stuff like that. But yeah,
the stand-up tickle warrior I think was like one of the best ones I had.
That's always the best thing about any EA Sports game is the glitch videos. Like just go and watch put in like Madden 16 glitches. You see the guy. There was. I don't know, what was the Madden one? The Madden one where there was like the massive pile up, see?
Yeah.
Which the
they couldn't pick up.
Oh, it was like a 106-yard fumble or something.
Yeah, and like was it a couple of years ago there was the tiny linebacker and so on because he was like just because of the glitch of the stats he came in at like 1 foot or something like that and it's just like he was running through everyone's legs and then he was laying out the hit on the running back still.
And there was a FIFA one where this bloke got slide tackled and like his leg basically folded back up on itself, so it was like that, and he was running like ostrich style, one-legged with the other leg in the air. Oh, EA. You bring us beautiful things. Sultan Sanctuary, next up on the PlayStation 4, and I believe it's coming to Vita. I don't think it's going to be there just yet. But this one is being described as a 2D Dark Souls. It is and if you see from the game,
as soon as you said that, I can see why people are saying it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very, very good though. It is a game. If you like hard games, then this is definitely one that you will enjoy, I suppose.
Suffer.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely one that we'll have to get Ash to do because we know how much he enjoyed Bloodborne.
Yes. I think he'll know which way to go though. It's either left or right.
Yeah, it is a bit easier that way. Shadow Complex Remastered, next up on the Xbox and the PC. PS4 version will be coming at some point, we're told. This is the remaster for the 2011 classic game. It's 2.5D kind of Metroidvania style game. Very, very good. Won a lot of awards when it came out. So remastered. If you haven't checked it out, this would definitely be the time to pick it up. And as Dan showed me before, something I didn't actually realise was a thing. When you start the game and you have to go right to save your girlfriend, go left. That's all we're going to say.
Mm-hmm.
But go left and see what happens. 101 Ways to Die, Dan.
Yes.
Did you realise there were that many ways to die?
No, but apparently there are.
So this game is on Xbox One, and it basically just looks like where you just set it's cartoony graphics animations, and you just set traps for these weird kind of, I suppose they're kind of humans, but not really.
They look like robot.
They look like roboty humans, kind of. And you just watch them get impaled by spikes or caught on fire or
blown up. It's like I think like the way it looked at least is the levels are designed. I guess you're given the objective of kill this robot person-y thing with this, make it happen kind of thing. And
I guess so.
Given,
how it'll work.
The options, and you've just got to be creative and build your levels and your traps and just basically get your end result.
It looks like a fun little game if you're looking for. Don't know how much it is, so I don't know about value for money, but if you're looking for something to entertain you for a couple of hours, I'm pretty sure this would do the job. Sheltered, next up on PS4, Xbox One. This is a survival RPG. Think very much in the vein of sort of Fallout. It looks like almost inspired by it, definitely.
Yeah, it almost looked like, in a way, Fallout Shelter, like the mobile game, but just much more pixely. Yeah,
so 8-bit style. It's all about survival, basically. Lots of RPG elements, obviously, in terms of your gear and your weapons and everything. But it looks pretty cool. I've heard good things about it. Next up, we have Lone Wolf, which is a very, very weird RPG game book, I think how it's called. It's inspired from some book series. It's turn-based combat. The video is probably showing it better than I could explain it. We're pretty confused by what was going on, but apparently it's a book series. So, did you know that?
No,
you
read? I do read. Yes, I know my words.
I don't read, so I didn't know that.
No, but it's not something I knew.
Tetrabat and Co. This one was a weird robot puzzle game, I believe.
Yes, it was.
That's pretty much all there is to say about it. Not a huge amount. Anything to add? Shred It. What do you think of Shred It?
I did find the art style quite interesting because it's all paper art.
Yeah.
And so on. So it's like it's a snowboarding game and so on. And the way it is rather than with the snow, is actually basically just lined paper that you're carving up as you go down, which I thought was quite interesting.
I quite liked it, yeah. And as said,
admittedly, the level we looked at was quite
basic.
So it's like
Probably gets harder.
I imagine it ramps itself up.
But there was something very soothing about the music as well.
Yeah.
It was not your
typical snowboarding
woo
kind of
yeah.
kind of music.
That's Burnout. But anyway, there's no punk rock on this game anyway.
Well, what we saw again, because as the levels ramp up, they might increase the tempo.
Maybe the music matches the difficulty.
Maybe. So you just by the last level, it's just screaming death metal because everything's just flying at you.
Yeah, through the fire and flames. We then have Spareware, which looks very much like your twin stick shooter of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We have one every week, so that one.
This one involves robots. Build your robot, use your robot.
Destroy other robots.
Yeah, try not to kill your robot is basically the gist of it.
I don't really have anything else to add on that. And then we have Dungeon of the Endless. Surprisingly, it is a roguelike dungeon crawler, but a futuristic dungeon by the looks of it. It didn't look like your typical medieval dungeon.
Well, in space you still need dungeons.
Exactly. So that one is there as well on the Xbox One. And then finally on the PS4 we have Bounce Rescue, which basically looked like you were a bouncy ball with a baseball bat.
Or a stick, yes. Some form of whacking object.
Wooden beating stick.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure it was a baseball bat. It didn't define. Maybe it was actually a leg off a bed.
Maybe.
But anyway, that's it's just a platformer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Nothing really else to add. So, Dan, when it comes to picking your favourite game of the week, which one comes out on top this week?
Well, I would like to say UFC 2, but I feel like it's just, as with all fighting games, I just end up mashing what I know. And probably just burn my guy's stamina out in the first round. It's like either I knock the guy out or I'm done.
Well, I will say, you'll see it in the video tomorrow, but there is the stamina mode, like the proper mode, but they do have a knockout mode, which is basically like an arcade, where you don't get tired, it's just first one to land 5 punches in the face wins.
Oh, fair enough.
So maybe you can play that mode instead.
Maybe, yeah, but I almost, in a way, like 100 Ways to Die.
101 ways
101,
so don't forget that extra way.
Yeah, that extra one.
Yeah, that was all.
It's just, I don't know, it's something about its creativity and so on. It's like, it's just a little bit offbeat.
Yeah.
And I think it's just entertaining. It's more of a pick up and play kind of game as opposed to one that you're going to sit hours and hours and hours, because UFC at the end of the day, it's a sports game. You're going to do the career mode. Most people are.
They've got Ultimate Team as well. I'm not going to get into the conversation of how that works, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I just think it's something that's more
casual. It's what should epitomise video games. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Well, it looks it. It might be painstakingly awful, but from first impressions, it looks fun. I'm going to pick Shadow Complex Remastered. I think that's a very good game that people should experience. I'm not sure if I'm personally going to buy it, because I did play it on the Xbox. Granted, I didn't own it then either, but I played it on my friend's Xbox for a good couple of hours, so I have played it. I'm trying desperately hard to be a little bit more selective with video, like basically not buying a new game every week.
So basically you want to cut down on the backlog.
I want to try, and I feel at some point when I want to play this game, it will probably be cheaper than it is now anyway, because it'll probably be on a sale at some point.
Yeah.
Plus, even though it is originally an Xbox game, I think I'd rather get it on PlayStation for the Platinum at some point, if it has a Platinum. That makes me see. But
you get it just by going left.
Yeah. That'll just be a gold trophy, hopefully.
Yeah.
But there we go. That is it. So much for our shorter show.
We can never do short
We
shows.
never do. Every week we're like, there's only 2 of us, it'll be shorter this week. We'll brush over the VR.
The problem is, when there's only 2 of us, is there's not the third person to stop us going down off topic.
Or the rabbit hole. Don't make it sound like Ash holds the show together.
No, he doesn't. But it's like there's always one person stops the other two.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so that's it for this week. Do let us know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on VR. And like I said, make sure you come back next week where we'll have a even longer discussion than we had today. It'll basically be the same discussion but with Ash's input as well. But,
Yeah.
And also whether or not you would like to see cross-platform play between Xbox and PS4, or are you of the opinion that it should always remain only with exclusives because you don't like to share. But for now, Dan, thank you as always for joining me.
No worries.
And everyone out there, thanks very much for watching. We'll see you all next time.